Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and in today's film we're having a drive through Central Paphos, a bit of Old Town and down to the seafront. So let's have the map up first of all, and we're starting off by the Lidl Roundabout, and we're driving down the B7 to the Papantonio's Roundabout, and then we're going to cut through Old Town in a new way I hadn't gone before, down to the Coast Road. Then we're going to turn left to Kings Avenue Mall, and we'll finish by going down past the seafront to the Harbour. So as you can see, the weather is nice and sunny today. I filmed this, when was it? I think it was Tuesday I filmed this. We got the new park by Lidl on the right, Sclavenitis on the left. Now, towards the end of May, I think it is, the remaining Paps supermarkets are going to be converted to Sclavenitis. You'll see that not on this film, but on the next film, because there was a big banner up on the Paps in Central Paphos, but we don't drive past that on this film. I did that one afterwards. So that's a bit of a spoiler for you, you lucky people. So what can I tell you about Central Paphos at the moment? Those bollards you can see everywhere are there for a very good reason. If they weren't there, people would be parking on all the pavements. It's an unfortunate fact about Paphos driving. This part of Paphos is mainly retail, lots of businesses as well in the top floors of the shops we're passing. Not much in the way of accommodation though. There are key roads, if you like, in Paphos. Let's call them veins or arteries. And they tend to be more business orientated, but between them is where you'll get all the housing. And some of those roads, it's quite difficult navigating if you steer away from the artery roads, because there are a number of micro gorges that run through the area, and they create dead ends basically, because we didn't build bridges over them or anything. So basically there was if you like, a secret structure to Paphos. I did do last year a couple of films showing you how to navigate Paphos properly. I'll probably do new versions of them. Not that a lot has changed, it's just this is one of those things that is worth keeping fresh. Anyway, we're coming down to Paphos, Paps Roundabout and Paps Supermarket, which would be on the right. There it is. And we're going to turn right here. To take us into Old Town. So that will soon become Sclavenitis. I don't think they're going to change any of the stock, it'll just be rebranded. If you like our films, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and share them far and wide. Click on any notification bell you see and leave comments. Comments really help us as well with the almighty YouTube algorithm. So we're coming into Old Town now. If you want to help us out financially, go to our Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/Paphos Life. All coffees are very gratefully received, I can assure you. It really does help us out. And if you want something back in return, go to our Zazzle store, zazzle.co.uk/store/PaphosLife/collections. And there you can see all sorts of new merchandise that you can purchase, featuring pictures that we've taken and posted on Facebook. Our Calimera and Calispera shots, and they go on our Paphos Life Facebook page. I do love the shop just here on the right. It's a hardware store. It looks very nice. And so now we're in the centre of Old Town, which looks very spick and span. They were still doing some work on some of the buildings, which you'll see just coming up. But all this looks so much nicer than it used to, apart from that little wall they got around Aphrodite's children, and that's because I'm biased. I love the murals. But this is where the work was still going on just there. You can just see a little bit of Chernobyl bar. They've got a lovely mural on the wall there, on the right it was. And there's another one on the left. And we're going to be turning around the front of Old Town. This route was chosen on a whim, I have to say. Now, if you go left here, through the car park and out the other end, that's a normal route to get to Tomb of the Kings Road, especially the roundabout. And I was experimenting up here, and I found another way of doing it, which from this direction at least is pretty pointless. Because if you wanted to go to Tomb of the Kings Roundabout, you just turn left where I said, but we'll go that way anyway, because I didn't know where the route went and I wanted to find out. So do bear with me, please. Right, so that's the Old Town central area on the right. Here's the Mulos Mosque. It's non-functional anymore, but they keep it maintained, which is nice. And now we're going into the heart of Mulos. And normally I turn right here, but for some reason I decided to turn left on this film, just to see where I ended up. I need to pay a bit more attention to the overhanging trees, because if one of those hits the anamorphic lens, I won't be happy. That's the water tank you can hear in the distance. Oh, I'm trying out a new mic, not a new mic setup, in that I'm using the mic I normally use for the walkie-talkie films to record this commentary. But I'm not walking and talking, I'm just sat at the computer. So we're coming out below that little chapel that runs by Mulos cliffs. So I suppose now you know where the road goes if you don't turn up to go up the cliffs. But as a shortcut, it's a bit pointless, because yes, you can get to Tomb of the Kings Roundabout this way, but it will be quicker going through the Old Town car park where I mentioned it earlier. However, it might cut off a few seconds if you're using the route in the opposite direction, which is something to bear in mind, because if that gets you to the top of Mulos cliffs without having to go past the restaurant and, more importantly, the school, then that could be worth knowing about, because the school will be quite chaotic at around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock time when the school gets let out. You have the usual parking issues with the school-run parents. And I wasn't joking when I was talking about bollards, and there aren't bollards for most of that area, so it is chaos during the school times. So bear that in mind. But we're coming towards the Central Paphos again now, and we're going to turn round past this bus. Turning on the left up there is where you'd come out if you'd just gone through the car park. See, a lot quicker. But we're going to take this down, and it will take us to the Tomb of the Kings Roundabout. See, it's a very residential area around here, and the occasional schools. And farmland. I keep going on about it, but I've always been fascinated how in the centre of Paphos you'll get bits of farmland, presumably waiting to be developed. Assuming the infrastructure and the water can cope with it. Now on the left here, you have the Paphos Football Club shop, and they were league champions this year, and they won the cup, I think. Or was that last year? I think they're in the cup final again this year. They haven't had it. They're doing really well anyway. So good for them. So that was Tomb of the Kings on the right, and now we're coming up the Tomb of the Kings Avenue to Kings Avenue Mall. There are a lot of nice restaurants around here, and various tourist-related shops, such as car hires, insurance, that sort of thing. will in due course be doing some walkie-talkie films here. And I'll get the mic recording right on them as well, because when I had Tony with me, I set up the mic so that one voice would come out one ear and the other out the other. So that we're not just gabbling together, basically. But I forgot to change that setting again, and someone commented that it was only coming out one ear, and when they were listening in headphones, this was quite annoying. So I've made a point of tweaking the headphone again, so it should all be coming out both ears again now. If it's not, let me know, and I will change it again. So yes, there's lots of restaurants and shops here. There's a couple of hotels on the left as well, which we've just passed, near the bus station. And I've made a point of cleaning the lens of the anamorphic thing before each film now, so there's going to be no banding repeat that we had. There's Kings Avenue Mall. And we'll be turning right here. The roundabout is a rough map of Paphos, believe it or not. It's more obvious from above when you see that. There's Paphos Walkway, which I've recently filmed. It's a shame the last films I did actually, because I hadn't appreciated when I was out and about just how grey and overcast it was. But the last 4 films are all rather gloomy, so it's nice to have the sun out again. Because the weather has been a bit changeable. Not a lot of rain, but there's been quite a lot of cloud about. It's very warm though, so if you are out and about, don't assume that that cloud means you don't need sun protection. You do. So this is the last bit of our journey. Shawbers with their very fine carrot cake. We were having a conversation about that in the comments, and it was proven scientifically, but it is actually one of your 5 of the day because it had carrot in it, and you don't get more scientific than that. So there you have it. That's what you need. Papantonio's bakers do nice carrot cake as well, though, I'll have to say. Well, pretty much most bakers in Cyprus seem to do carrot cake very nicely, which is good. Plenty of icing. I mean, some people in my family, they don't like too much icing. It's just like, I'm the opposite. I don't like too much cake. However, we're now at Paphos seafront. There's the free car park on it right, and the pedestrianised seafront will be on the left in a minute, once this chap's decided what he's doing with his life. So there's the seafront going that way. I think he ended up parking by the kiosk. He was itching for a space in the bollards, I think. There he goes. Tut indeed. Anyway, we're going to finish the film by going past the restaurant area in the harbour with a nice little view of the castle. I often drive right up to the castle in the dusty car park, but because of the anamorphic lens, I was being a good boy and I stayed pretty much on the road. But even after I finished this film, first thing I did was give the lens a clean again. This is what I find with camera equipment. You just got to not rush things and treat them with respect, and then they'll reward you with lovely footage like this. So you got the archaeological park on the right, you got yet another free car park on the left. And we'll finish with a view of the castle. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next film, and I hope the sound was okay. Let us know what your thoughts on the sound are. Okay, cheers.